Hello, anybody that's interested. This is my take on the Holzmann drilling machine SB4115N. And initially I wasn't going to make a video of this because I've just upgraded from my homemade one from 40 odd years ago. But I quite like the machine, but I think we can do better. So I'm going to give you my opinions. So first of all, it comes supplied with a 16mm chuck, I think it is, which is very nice, but I think that's too big for this small machine, so I've swapped it for the one I had on my lathe for a 13mm one, which seems a much better bet to me. There's also a couple of videos on YouTube of the guys taking it out of the box. There's a French guy that's done a lengthy video on taking the box to pieces, which is quite good. And there's another video where the guy tells you to adjust the spindle slop by playing with this screw here. Well, word of warning, if you do try it, the screw has got flats on it which sit in a groove in the spindle. So if you want to take that screw out, you have to drop the spindle out. In order to drop the spindle out, you need to release the coil spring here, where you better wear a pair of gloves unless you want to lose your fingernails and things. But the spindle will drop out when you withdraw the spline shaft out through this direction. As an aside, there's no need to play with this nut on the top, but if you do, it's got a left-hand thread on it, so be warned. So generally, from the small amount of work I've done so far, I like the machine. Now comes the but. Let me just remove that chuck out of the way. When I put my vise on here, it doesn't slide nicely across the table. So my first thoughts were, oh, there's a burr on the slots and things, so I'll file them off. In fact, I decided I would use this little tool that I first saw Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering use. It's got a little tungsten carbide chamfer tool on here. As an aside, my first experiment with this tool was not very good because I had a tiny little compressor that I use for pumping up the car tyres, and it didn't have enough oomph. So for this particular project, I took it to the shed and used the big compressor, and yeah, the tool works fine. So I've now put nice chamfers on all the grooves here and the hole here, but as you can see, it still doesn't go smoothly. Now, why is that, we ask ourselves? So here we go. If we put a straight edge on and we get a feeler gauge, we can slide it underneath. Oops, try and do this one-handed. So the table is not very flat in both directions. This is a, what was it, 16.4 feeler gauge. So I think we're going to have to have a play with this table. So I'm going to stop the video now and we're going to have a play and see what we can do to actually face off the table and get it somewhat flatter. So watch this space. Okay, part two. I've decided I'm not going to try and machine off the table, as if you look at there, it's incredibly thin. The casting about, I don't know, 4.5, maybe 5mm thick. So to take off 0.5 mil minimum to get it flat is probably not a good idea. So it's now a rainy day project. I think we'll probably make a steel plate to go over the top. The question is how complicated to make the steel plate. So watch this space.